think he's like a shell box.
Here we go.
You're throwing a shell box right in his black finger.
It was a gathering of old men as Mike Tyson joined his friend and formed undisputed world heavyweight and cruiserweight champion Evander Holyfield in training ahead of his clash with Jake Paul next weekend. But having seen their training footage, Jake Paul has instead found another lapse in Mike Tyson. Funnily, he has compared Mike Tyson's punches to having a very little effect like that of his grandmother.
Oh, Jake, did you see Mike Tyson
dropping
his sparring partner?
I was talking about,
yeah, I fucking saw it.
I was talking about
no shit, I saw it, and I don't give a fuck. Sure, he's looking good. Sure, he's looking.
A match that had been earlier thought to have a relatively silent and friendly buildup became a spectacle of chaos and heated arguments once the photo shoot was done and the match was announced. Talking about the shoot on his BS with Jake Paul podcast, Jake Paul's friend Brandon Amato said, "What was interesting too was about the dynamic between you guys during that whole shoot. In the past, you and Mike have been friendly, but you weren't friendly the whole time."
All of that. Oh, he's dropping people. He's fast. So the fuck am I. People want the truth.
I don't think people want you to kill Mike Tyson.
Okay.
We were there for like 7 hours. There was no friendly laughing or giggling. It was like a different mode you guys were in. Paul then replied, confirming the animosity. "When you sign the contract, something changes, right? Even if we want to feel that, but it's like we are facing off, obviously. I love him and respect him so much. I'm honored to be going into the ring with him, but we are freaking fighting each other."
Mike, I really want to see, bro, because you're Iron Mike Tyson, but I have an iron chin. People know that. Like, I take shots, so I think people are underestimating me being able to deal with his power.
The shoot took place in an incredible setting on a helicopter pad, but Paul didn't want to give anything away to his boxing idol. And ever since, every new day has seen a troll from Jake Paul or a comeback from Mike Tyson. They are two very outspoken men from two different generations and eras. Expectedly, there's definitely going to be some trash talking, controversies, and drama until the D-Day arrives.
I am biting off a lot. This is definitely the toughest, most savage, lethal opponent, regardless of age, because the power is the last thing to go.
No nerves in you at all about this.
The latest installment in the episode of Dramas and Controversies is Jake Paul's recent controversial statement mocking Mike Tyson and his career, and the baddest man on the planet has not hesitated one bit in issuing a response. Recent video training footage of Jake Paul has tried to make fun of Mike Tyson, as Paul, in the process of issuing a challenge message to Tyson, did utter some words that definitely did not go down well with the boxing legend. "Day 3, Mikey. Your hands can't hit what your eyes can't see," Paul said in the recently leaked training footage.
Day 3, Mikey, your hands can't hit what your eyes can't see. Woo.
Paul in that footage re-emphasized what almost everyone had been saying ever since the bout between Paul and Tyson was made official. And another similar situation was Jake Paul hyping up the fight on social media and making a brave taunt to Tyson on Instagram. The YouTuber Turner Boxer showed off his training footage, but it was the caption on Instagram where the damage was done. Captioning the training footage, Jake Paul wrote, "I'm gonna bite your ear off, Mikey." Clearly, this was a direct reference to Tyson's infamous bite on Evander Holyfield in 1997. The feud that was induced by the bite fight between Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield had been buried for over a decade, but perhaps because it happened when Jake Paul was just 5 months old, he had been bringing up memories of the ear bite repeatedly. First in his announcement video, then in another social media post where he was seen biting a plastic ear while showing a fellow with an injured ear as well, however. Following Paul's taunt of Tyson's ear biting of Evander Holyfield, Mike Tyson indirectly responded with his next post on Snapchat, where he posted a picture of him getting put through his paces with the caption, "Everyone has a plan till they." For those that recollect, this was surely a nod to one of his most memorable quotes about getting punched in the face.
Everyone has a plan. Until they get punched in the mouth.
He also shared a snap of him hitting the pads with trainer Rafael Cordero with the text, "All eyes on me." In another recently made post by Jake Paul on a social media platform, Instagram, few days ago, the 27-year-old posted a photo of himself facing off with Mike Tyson ahead of the much-anticipated showdown, and he captioned the photo, "The greatest heavyweight boxer on the planet and Mike Tyson." Of course, Paul's social media caption had sparked several reactions, as he had indirectly referred to himself as the greatest heavyweight boxer on the planet, a title or description more befitting of his upcoming opponent, Mike Tyson, who was indeed a two-time world champion in his active years. No one can deny that Tyson had an illustrious career, as he is widely regarded as one of the greatest heavyweight boxers of all time. He reigned as the undisputed world heavyweight champion from 1987 to 1990. Tyson was so good that he won his first 19 professional fights by knockout, 12 of them being in the first round. Claiming his first title at the very young age of 20 years, Tyson also holds the record as the youngest ever boxer ever to win a heavyweight title.
You said that you think Mike Tyson's gonna beat my ass.
Yeah, I do. Hey, listen, I've seen Tyson moves around just like to show me stuff.
He was the first heavyweight boxer to simultaneously hold the WBA, WBC, and IBF titles, as well as the only heavyweight to unify them in succession. The following year, Tyson became the lineal champion when he knocked out Michael Spinks in 91 seconds of the first round. It is evident that Mike Tyson already had his name entrenched in the canals of history as one of the greats, not just in boxing but in sports as a whole. However, it is no longer news that Tyson will be 58 when he goes up against a 27-year-old Jake Paul at the Taunts Stadium on July 20th, meaning there will be a 31-year age gap between both fighters, a situation that has left Paul vehemently believing that he's got the biggest advantage heading into the clash. Though it is still popularly believed that despite being in his late 50s, Mike Tyson remains one of the strongest fighters, with many believing that he's still got one of the strongest punches in boxing.
Just like to show me stuff, he was like this footwork moving, like you move like this, and I'm calm down. You know, so
He still got it. He still got it.
Tyson's marauding and rapid offensive approach stood him out during his prime years. Really, Jake Paul's mockery began in the announcement video. Jake Paul was also seen with an opponent in the ring as well, and took turns to show the match between Tyson and Holyfield and the one between him and his partner. And just when Mike Tyson bit Holyfield's ear in the video, Jake Paul also bit off his partner's ear, following this with a brief statement.
And not only do I have the honor of fighting one of the two most famous boxers to ever live, it's also happening.
Not only do I have the honor of fighting one of the two most famous boxers to ever live, it's also happening live on Netflix. Many have drawn from this statement and have made several speculations. Some speculations have come quite shockingly, while others are very insightful. A fan drew some insights from Jake Paul's statements, where he said he was fighting one of the two most famous boxers. According to him, Jake Paul didn't want to give so much praise to Tyson at the expense of his trainer.
Live on Netflix. Look out, he's pushing right here.
So even when he was trying to prove Tyson's greatness, he had to underestimate it to make his trainer look better. In the announcement video, after showing videos of Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield, Jake Paul had some boastful comments to make about the match and some more details to provide. Netflix was where we watched movies until now. This is the first ever professional live sport event on Netflix, and with Netflix in over 500 million households and over 260 million subscribers, we plan on this being the biggest fight of the 21st century, dummy.
It was until now. This is the first ever professional live sports event on Netflix. And with Netflix in over 500 million households and 260 million subscribers.
This is a most valuable promotions event. My first time fighting in the stadium, Dallas, Texas. Like he was expecting chaos after the announcement, he then brought up some humorous scenes where he said, "Oh, you're mad at me for fighting Mike Tyson, imagine this. Exactly, that's what I thought. November 15th. Be there, good boy." He then brought up an old video of Mike sending words to an opponent. Funnily, Jake repeated Mike's words again and hurled them at Mike.
We got the biggest deal ever. You versus Mike Tyson. Live on Netflix. You're gonna entertain millions of people and make an unbelievable amount of money. What do you think?
And after so much trolls at Tyson, Jake Paul then said, I'm just so glad to step into the ring with one of the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champions there's ever been. My style is impetuous, my defense is impregnable, and in November, I promise you, I'll come out victorious. As a matter of fact, even Jake Paul has also idolized Mike Tyson at some point in his life and career. I idolized Mike Tyson until the first time I met him 4 years ago. He called me Logan, going to make sure he knows who I am, real close and personal, Jake Paul said in a post on social media platform X as he officially announced the July 20th fight between himself and Tyson. Imagine meeting your childhood hero for the first time and they call you your brother's name. We don't even look alike. And ever since that day, Mike, I've wanted to knock you out, Jake Paul said in a video referencing when he first met Mike Tyson.
Mars loved it, huh?
Good to meet you.
Where you from, Lo?
I'm Jake. Imagine meeting your childhood hero for the first time and they call you your brother's name. We don't even fucking look alike.
Tyson, on the other hand, has issued a rather emphatic response to Jake Paul following his comments about himself being the greatest heavyweight boxer of all time and Tyson not being able to punch what he can't see. Tyson's reaction is that of rage and anger, and he sounded more like someone who just can't wait to meet Jake Paul face to face in the ring. Hey, white kid, I know you're probably thinking you're at the top of your game right now, but I'm gonna mess you up. You're not all that kid July 20th. Be there to watch yourself get knocked out in front of your folks.
And ever since that day, Mike, I've wanted to knock you the fuck out.
You haven't had a real fight test and I'ma give you your first real fight. Can't wait, Tyson said while reacting to Paul's post and footage. Iron Mike Tyson looks to very much be in the mood ahead of July 20th. He looks as fit and ready as ever before, and the more Jake Paul continues his antics ahead of the match, the more eager Tyson would be to knock him out. Of course, Tyson is not new to this sort of antics from opposing boxers. Trash-talking, banters, mind games, and a lot of pre-match shenanigans is literally part of boxing. Mike Tyson has always proven to be able to fit into whatever character and personality needed before every match.
It's our most valuable promotions event. My first time fighting in the stadium, Dallas, Texas.
Oh, you're mad at me for fighting Mike Tyson? Imagine this.
He has never been fazed by mind games in the past, and he is also the last person that will ever be bullied either by words or by actions. Tyson remains one of the best trash talkers in boxing, and it's really surprising to see how gentle and calm he's become over time. All of this played out best during Mike Tyson and Jake Paul's press conference, as the atmosphere was so cool and friendly that the boxing legend had to question if he truly was in a press conference. First on stage were three men, dressed in high-vis tops and hats. They flipped buckets upside down, turned them into drums, and bashed away, even after the formalities had begun.
Why this intrigued you? Why you ultimately said yes to a fight against Jake Paul?
Well, it was a no-brainer. It was just, he's the new up-and-coming guy on the scene.
Then came a second three-piece, one man playing a trombone, one tapping bongo drums, one whacking a bell. Then came a solo violinist. Then a quartet of fighters who treated the audience to another rendition of Platitudes, the familiar soundtrack to boxing events like this.
Can Jake take your power? We're gonna see, huh?
You're impressed with what he's been doing. Have you been impressed? Have you been impressed?
I'm very impressed with it. I'm very impressed.
Would you say that his defense is pregnable or impregnable?
Well, I don't think it's that, but I think I'm very impressed with the accomplished here.
All right, we'll take one more question from the media. Go ahead.
But Mike,
yes,
you've had a very long career. You have faced some of the greats. You have knocked down many of the greats. What's the importance?
After Mike Tyson, Jake Paul, Amanda Serrano, and Katie Taylor had fallen silent, the stage was handed over to journalists. One asked Serrano, a 7-weight world champion, where she was going to put the extra pounds she can carry up at super lightweight.
Where's your mother at?
Mike, how would you compare Jake to boxers in the 90s? And Jake, how do you foresee young boxers like me?
And then eventually, this became an open mic night. The crowd crammed into the Apollo Theater in Harlem were invited to steal the show. One fan needed no second invitation. He was a young boxer from around these parts, barely a teen. He stepped up to the microphone and offered an R-rated endorsement of the fighters.
Me coming up, you feel me? Jake.
Well, Jake is his own person. He's not like anybody else but him. He started this YouTuber stuff out and he made it successful.
Then he asked, in less polite terms, which of Tyson or Paul had slept with more women. Apparently, that was the tipping point. Mike Tyson appeared at times to be taken aback by the chaos of his Jake Paul press conference. Paul blushed and rocked back in his chair.
See how far it can take him.
Who would train me better, Jake or you, Mike?
Me, definitely me.
Older fighters have more heart and balls.
The shock jock was stunned into silence. Soon Tyson was forced to speak out. "I can't believe we're at a press conference," he said. Yep, Mike Tyson was shocked into speaking out. The same Mike Tyson whose life has, for long periods, veered between chaos and carnage.
And weren't afraid, but I think the newer fighters have more skill and technique and are sharper. So that's why I'd be a better coach.
Yeah, tight shit. So you think...
The same Mike Tyson who gnawed the ear of one opponent and threatened to eat the babies of another? He is in a more serene place now, sitting atop piles of green, having built a cannabis empire that has replenished much of the $400 million he made and then lost through boxing. But still, what does it say about this circus that he was the voice of reason?
Think he has bigger balls? Who do you think's got a higher body count? What's your body count, Jake? What's your body count?
What does it say about boxing that this bonkers spectacle was relatively mundane compared to Monday's curtain raiser to the first undisputed heavyweight title fight for 25 years? Over in Saudi Arabia, John Fury headbutted someone ahead of his son's fight. Here in Harlem, a 27-year-old took a few playful digs in the kidney from a man old enough to be his dad. Not much makes sense anymore. Not that the people here cared. One queued from 6 a.m. apparently. They all hollered in approval as Tyson and Paul talked up their July 20th meeting in Dallas.
Where's this kid's mother?
Jake, you think yours is higher? Type shit, we outside.
Netflix will broadcast the fight to its 270 million subscribers. More than 120,000 have registered for tickets, which come on sale this week. Some will pay up to $2 million for a VIP package that includes locker room access and seats on the ring apron. Amidst his many controversies in his adult years was a situation where Mike Tyson was seen brutally beating a random guy during an air flight. Tyson beat him so severely that he had wounds all over his face.
He should have never gave you his money. Peasants. They're peasants.
The young man was seen troubling Tyson, raining words over Tyson's head in an airplane. The baddest man on the planet initially chose to be very silent about his actions. However, the victim was too consistent to avoid a response from the former world heavyweight champion. When Mike Tyson seemed to have had enough of it, he rose to his feet, turned to the seat behind his, and sent this fellow a rain of damaging punches with his bare hands.
Lit, man. He over here rapping with Tyson. Mike Tyson trying to give us some shrooms. You don't know how to act. Tyson.
The guy suffered some facial injuries, and he's just one of the many who might not remember Mike Tyson as a hero and legend, but as a villain who is capable of punishing people for trivial reasons. Talking about the incident in an interview, Mike Tyson jokingly denied being the culprit at the sad moment, but later explained what transpired. "That's not me. Did that look like me, man? That's not me. That's not me. Hey, listen, I'm usually good at these things, at being patient with people, but I just guess it was his number. I was wrong and that should have never happened, but I asked myself back in my primitive child stages. But I was just irritated, tired, high, pissed off." Despite the divorce cases and many other controversies created by Tyson, the most infamous one in the boxing ring remains the one Jake Paul keeps using against Tyson, which was the ear bite in 1997. And Jake Paul has been taking advantage of this infamy in many of his videos on YouTube, where he has over 20 million subscribers. While Jake Paul keeps trying to reopen the bitter memory of the event, Tyson looked to have since moved on.
I got very frustrated and discouraged and stuff, and he was headbutting me, and I was really mad, and I didn't know what to do, and I exploded, and I bit his ear. And I know, man.
When asked later on by a fan as to why he bit off Evander Holyfield's ear, Mike Tyson responded, "I got very frustrated and discouraged and stuff. And he was headbutting me, and I was really mad, and I didn't know what to do. And I just exploded, and I bit his ear. Matter of fact, I bit it twice, and I'm truly sorry. As a result of biting Holyfield on both ears and other behavior, Tyson's boxing license was revoked by the Nevada State Athletic Commission, and he was fined $3 million plus legal fees. On appeal, the commission voted 4-1 to reinstate Tyson's license on October 18, 1998. And that's all for now. For the very best updates on news, moments, events, and actions in the world of boxing, stay connected with us by subscribing to our YouTube channel, and don't forget to turn on notifications to get notified when we drop quality contents like this. Until next time, peace out.